Welcome to 40 Below Zero, an international podcast about life with invisible illnesses, hosted by two guys living with multiple sclerosis. Coming to you from the Keystone State of Pennsylvania, I'm your co-host Nix, and with me on this ride is Terry, a Londoner who calls Ontario home. We're so happy you're here with us as we continue to try and normalize a life that is anything but. So let's get into it. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Glad you're here as always. Terry, it has been quite a week, my friend. How are you feeling?
I'm good. I am good.
Like,
I got
for real?
quite a story to tell you, but I'm good.
Okay.
The humidity's gone.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah, it's been a nice week down here too, but middle of the summer, my eyes could be a lot better. Thankfully, I saw a whole bunch of doctors last week. But I wanted to show everybody as we get started here. This is another one of my cooling vests. I added a couple of patches too, but it's just a cloth vest that has some pockets in it for your freezer jammers. These are a little melted because I've been
Is
wearing
that
it
the
all
same
day.
cooling vest we saw last week?
No,
Or-
not even close.
Okay.
Yeah, this one has all
Oh, that's
the
right. That's right. You had never mind. Yeah, I remember now.
yeah, this one's a little dressier.
I
I
think
like
that's the
this
one I
one.
have, to be honest with
Yeah.
you.
It's got the pockets on the inside for your freezer packs. I just added a couple of patches to it because
What does it say at the top
this guy
left?
here,
Yeah.
yeah, it says retired.
Okay.
So it's a thin blue line,
Oh, no way. Okay, cool.
retired patch, and then of course the flag. So I just
Cool.
dress it up a little bit.
Cool.
But I do have the same version of this that I only wear on dressier occasions, so that you know.
So does that flag have 51 stripes? Just joking.
Yeah, actually, if you pull this off on the back, it's a maple leaf.
That would be cool.
Um, yeah, so this is what gets me through the day. One of the things I wear this one a lot.
Cool.
Um,
Cool.
yeah, oh, it's just been a week of like dealing with personal health, just focusing on myself, you know. Um, like I said, I had a couple of doctor's appointments.
I had a neurology appointment.
Oh yeah, any special, anything happening? Any news on your front? No.
Well, I got to see my MRI. Like she showed me the whole MRI, front view, side view.
Oh, okay. And
And yeah, I saw the spots. She there's a lot of things that she explained, and I'm like, oh, cool. Like, um, she showed me down the spine. She showed me where it's dangerous to have spots. She says you don't have any spots there. So it was just
oh, good.
it was good feelings, that everything's okay. It's not out of control.
Yeah,
And then they explained to me why I'm on Ocrevus, you know? They said, this is the reason why you're on Ocrevus because of these ones here. And I'm like, okay. It was cool. It was a good visit. You know,
yeah. Was it? Did you get I guess the best news that we can hope for, or at least the best news that I hope for, is everything is stable, right?
yeah, they didn't say that, but yes.
Yeah,
I always
that's
think of
kind of
you when I've heard that a few times now. I'm like, and then I always finish it with, what is it? I can't remember. Stably decline.
yes,
And
steadily going downhill.
but it's stable. It's not out of
Right.
control.
And yeah, unfortunately, that is sometimes the best we can hope for.
So
That means you're doing it right. And, who knows? And that's the thing. That's the thing about any of these diseases that we talk about, the uncertainty, you know?
yeah,
So, yeah, I know um, I know it is possible, like we talked about a lot, to have your MRI look the same, but you to feel worse, which is kind of where I'm at.
yeah, yeah.
All of my stuff is the same. I got my MRI coming up. Um, oh, I hit that magic marker at 45 where they now you have to screen for colon cancer. So I got that sent to my house last week. That was fun. That was an
I,
experience.
it's not at 50. I'm hoping it.
No.
Oh, wait. It's at 45 if you have like in your family.
No, it's just they just say at 45.
I swear my doctor told me 50. He's like, unless it
Mm.
runs in your family. I'm like, no. He's like, you're good till 50. As I'm
Yeah,
looking at his finger, he's like, you're good till 50.
I didn't have to worry about that. I got that box sent to my house, and I had to screen myself.
Oh, okay.
That's that was quite the ordeal.
I'd love to screen myself. So yeah.
Uh,
While I'm doing this FES bike, I met a guy who kind of convinced me, not convinced me, I'm interested, but I might try the wheelchair rugby.
yes, I think you'll have so much fun.
So I was supposed to go on to today. He was gonna drive me today. He's in a wheelchair and he drives a van. And I'm like,
Okay.
how am I gonna get in your van? He's like, oh, there's a ramp, and then you just scoot over onto the bench. I'm like, okay. Two people in wheelchairs in a car. That's crazy, right? Well, I've done it before when I was
That
in
makes it
Edmonton.
that make it
Yeah.
an 8-wheel vehicle.
More
This
than that.
van's got 8-wheel drive.
One, two. Yeah, sorry, eight. Yes, eight.
It's okay.
So I got a story, man.
All right.
You ready for this one? First of all, this episode is not sponsored by Tim Hortons. Okay. Anyway, talking about Tim Hortons. My story was on the way to Tim Hortons.
Okay.
Um, it's kind of a weird story, man, because I have a lot of emotions. Like we're talking about, I'm embarrassed. I don't want to tell anyone. I don't know how else because someone already reacted on the road about what happened. And you're
Okay.
gonna make fun. You're gonna make fun. It's okay. I accept it. But I have to tell the story for other people to see what could happen, what has happened, and it could have been worse. That's the shock factor that it could have been worse, and I'm lucky. You're gonna make fun. So I'm taking my wheelchair. I have the scooter hooked up to the front.
Okay.
I have the scooter hooked up to the front. And so I'm wheeling on, you know, and I'm about to turn to go onto the sidewalk, heading downhill. And I can't really see who's ahead because there's a fence and I hear a lot of kids. So I'm thinking, oh, there's a lot of kids. I don't want to speed up. I don't want to into anyone in case they're running in front of me. So I slow down. I look to my left as I'm creeping around the corner. And then I see two kids down there. I'm like, cool. So I turn and I start heading down. Two kids, approximately 10, 12 years old.
All
They
right.
kids, you know what I mean? Um, and then I could hear them talking. One of them says, oh, go ask that guy, and I realized that, okay, I'm going to get interaction. So the two kids are walking towards me. One of them starts running towards me with a bottle. And he goes, hey, you want some lemon? You want to buy some lemonade? So I'm like, oh, this is cute, right? Like they're selling lemonade. But dude, I didn't have any cash. I have a card that I pay for my Tim card. So I'm
Sure.
like, oh man, as I'm going down, I'm slowing down a bit so I don't hit into them. I'm like, oh man, I'm sorry, not today. And then the one kid starts charging me. Bro, you won't believe this. I wish there was a camera. He starts charging me, smacks into me, bro, smacks into me. And I'm like, what the fuck? And as he hits me, he yells, he hit me. He hit me. Dude, bro. Yeah, take it in for a second. He's yelling. So I realized these kids are punks. Okay. As soon as I said no to the lemonade, he did this charging thing, smacked into me. I took my arm and I just shoved him. And I have to remember, man, he's a kid. I can't be fucking smacking kids. And I did not.
Right.
But I just take him and I'm like, get out of here, you know? And then he goes, runs back and picks up an empty bottle and whips it at me. Bro,
Wow.
bro, I'm in shock because I'm like, does this guy know I'm in a wheelchair and he's still doing this? I feel like an idiot because I'm just this guy in a wheelchair he's picking on. Remember you hear these stories about people picking on homeless and we're like,
Yeah.
how could they do that? This kid
Right.
was picking on a guy in a wheelchair. And you know what he did after he picked up the bottle and threw it at me? He ran to me, grabbed me, and started pushing me.
Bro.
Bro, I was going nuts. Then I swung and I said, dude, I'm calling the cops.
Right.
Yo, I feel so stupid saying that.
Why?
Bro, I'm in the 10-year-olds.
Yeah, but why would you feel stupid? You were in a
Dude.
position to.
So after I said that, they kind of laughed. Like it didn't
Right.
scare them and they ran away. And I'm just sitting there, bro. I didn't
Sure.
move because I'm like, what do I do? Do I just proceed on my day? I just got bullied by 10-year-olds.
Wow.
Dude, it was pretty bad. So I didn't know what to do.
Mm.
I sat there for 3 minutes. And then the next couple, I saw them behind there and they interacted with the kids because I could hear the kids saying lemonade, lemonade, right?
Right.
So they came and they were like a 30-year-old couple. And
Right.
I looked at them, bro. I had to because I didn't know what to do. I looked at them and I said, did you guys just see that? And they're like,
Yeah.
no, what happened? I'm like, those kids, did you interact with them? And then the guy goes, yeah, the kids asked me if I want lemonade. I said, no, I'm okay. And then the kids said, good, because I pissed in them in the lemonade. And then he's like, yeah,
Wow.
and then I told the guy, I said, bro, those kids just bullied me. You know what the guy said to me?
Uh-oh.
Yo, they're only 10.
Mm.
Dude, I felt so like, I don't know. I'm like, yeah, man, it's not about the fact that they're 10. And I get it. I'm not hurt or anything, but they could have been 15. They could
Yeah,
have
but
been,
still, 10, like they're old enough to know.
dude, it was really a shock factor. I was
Ugh.
just sitting there. And when he said that, I'm like, yeah, I get it, man. And he's like, those parents should beat them. I'm like,
Uh,
good
honestly,
comeback. Like,
first of all, that sucks that that even happened, bro.
bro, it was fucked up.
Nobody should have to go through that. And
I
you know
got
what?
bullied by 10-year-olds.
Honestly, I don't know. That other guy,
What?
uh, there's just a whole lot into that story that I'm like, wow.
Dude, it was crazy. It was
Well,
crazy.
and you know what? Their their parents probably are abusive to them, and that's why they think it's okay to be abusive towards somebody who's, let's say an easy target,
They were trash.
right?
Yeah. If
So
they're doing that,
you're probably seeing the end result of their home life. I mean, I don't want to get all.
no, no, bro. When I told Katrina, she's like, they assaulted you. I'm like, yeah, okay,
Well,
easy.
yeah, they did. And that is an arrestable offense.
Dude, he took me and started shoving me, and I was holding the brake hard because I'm like, dude, you can throw me off my chair. And then I realized a 10-year-old can throw me off my chair. I mean, I can use my
Yeah.
arms and smack him around, but damn,
No, I'm still processing. Holy.
bro. And it happened yesterday. And
Wow.
yeah, can I tell you a humor
Sure.
part of the story is when I reached the lights, I'm still
Sure.
pondering. I reached the lights. There was this guy who always wants to talk to me from my building, and he was there. And
Right.
he's like, hey, man, where are you heading? And I'm like, Tim Hortons. Like, I'm crossing the street. There's a Tim Hortons there. And he's like, oh, me too. I'm like, oh, okay. And then he says to me, and then I say to him, dude, did you get asked if you want lemonade from those kids? He goes, oh yeah, those kids. Yes, they gave me a tester. It was good. And then they started laughing. I don't know why. They must have put something in the drink. In my head, I'm like, bro, I hope they didn't piss in that. I'm
Mm.
sorry, man. I hope they did it. But
Well,
at the same time, I'm like, I didn't want to tell him, bro. So I just
I,
let it
w-
be.
I will say that Katrina is right. That was an assault. Um,
Bro, I'm not embellishing the story. I'm
no, no,
not,
no, I know, but I'm saying it doesn't have to be, you know, and the definition of assault is not that high of a bar. Everybody thinks you have to be struck by an object or a body part, like you have to be kicked or punched or whatever. You just have to be impacted in any way. and the fact that man, how far of a drive is it to your house from me? 8 hours?
Why? You're gonna drive here and kick
Oh,
the kid's ass
it
for me?
just angers me, man. It's like,
Bro, trust me. It's embarrassing. When that guy said to me, they're only 10.
yeah, but that's even worse. Like the
That's,
fact that
bro, that
a grown
embarrassed me.
man looked at you and said, "Yeah, but they're only
And I
10."
didn't want to tell anyone because of that. Because he said that. I didn't want to tell
That's
anybody. I'm like,
Dude,
should
that's
I?
even worse. That is what's known as victim shaming.
Bro, that's what a lot of people go through. And that's why they don't go to the
Yeah,
police or, you know what I mean?
sure. Yeah, that believe me, I definitely know.
Dude,
Um,
that was a shitty feeling, man.
wow, dude. I'm really sorry for you.
But you know what? At the moment, I won't lie to you. I thought of you.
Oh,
At the moment, I'm like,
okay.
I can't wait to tell you. I was like, dude, I'm so glad I have a place to tell it to because I would have been dwelling on this
Well,
for days, man.
honestly, wow.
I'm glad you're taking it serious, bro. Seriously, because
Yeah,
it
no,
really it was a shock factor for me. I was like,
uh,
that did that just happen to me? Like
yeah.
I got bullied.
That was definitely un, that
Mm.
sorry.
Now every time I go, I'm gonna have my camera on, right? I should have had
Yeah.
my camera on.
Well,
By the way, on the way back, I turned on my camera and I had it recording the whole time. I'm like, what if they're
were
there?
they still there or
No,
no?
no. And I was
Yeah.
also like thinking, should I go down the street and see if I can find
Well,
them?
that's the thing. Like
What am I gonna do?
now because of this, first of all, yes, it should have been a 911 call. That was
Wow.
absolutely an assault. But listen,
No,
and
no, I agree with you, but
it's because look, you're in your chair, you it's because you focus on all of your accomplishments and all the things that you can do that you don't view yourself as a vulnerable person. You just view yourself as Terry, and Terry's gonna go to Tim Hortons to get a cup of coffee. You don't say, I'm a vulnerable person, I need protection. Like, you don't think of yourself that way. But in reality, there are certain situations where any of us need assistance, you know, and in that situation, doesn't matter the age of the person, you were at a disadvantage. And
100%.
being the person in a disadvantage, you need to I don't know how to say this, but you need to level the playing field. And in order to level the playing field to have the situation come to a reasonable conclusion, you need law enforcement, you need assistance. And that's the purpose. Um, that's where the phrase protect and serve comes from,
Yeah.
because you're supposed to do both. And you're supposed to protect not only society as a whole, you're really supposed to protect vulnerable people. You're there because you're supposed to be stronger and like badder than the bad guys.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you're supposed to have more of a control in chaos than the person who the chaos is happening to. And in that scenario, the chaos was happening to you. So you need someone from outside the scenario to step in to say, nope. So don't, a lot of it's frustrating as a public servant in multiple respects. It's frustrating for the reasons why people call 911 sometimes, but also why they don't call 911. And I'm not saying you did anything wrong. Believe me, you did exactly what any reasonable person would do. You were just trying to get out of the scenario. You were just thinking on some level, this has to stop, and what's the fastest way for it to stop?
Dude,
Right?
exactly. And I pushed 911 on my phone,
Okay.
but I never, because I started processing it. What am I going to say?
I need help. My name is Terry. I need help. This is where I'm at. That's all you have to say.
And then,
And
yeah,
again, I want to emphasize very strongly that you did not do anything wrong by not calling. I've been in scenarios where I should have called and I
I just
didn't.
I just could hear that guy, but they're only 10 years
Right.
old.
Yeah, but that's the thing. But that's not what the law enforcement officer does.
Again, I don't even know if they're 10. They could have been 12. They could have been,
Does
I'm just saying,
juvenile.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll just ballpark it. But when the law enforcement officer shows up, all they know is you were in a scenario that needs to stop. Now, I'm not talking like law and order, jail time, blah, blah, blah. I'm not talking about anything like that. I'm just talking about when they show up, you could say, I'm the one who needs the help. This is why I need the help. And then they help.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Then it goes from there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it, Ben. I get
Because
it.
how many Terrys and how many Terrys would it happen to? And how many I don't know that other guy from your building, but let's call him, I don't know.
Say
How
Joe.
how many of how many of him
Yeah.
bought the lemonade that may or may not have been contaminated off these 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds? You know what I'm saying?
Said he got a tester.
Well, yeah. So my point is
Yeah, I get it, man.
don't
It's,
don't be, a lot of people are embarrassed to dial 911. A lot of people are they think that if I call 911 then I'm weak or, whatever they think. But there's they don't call. Like
that
and like
word
you.
comes into play. Dramatic.
Right. Yeah, it's like but that's the thing. There is a so the two sides to the coin is there's people that don't call and there's people that call all the time for things that they should be able to handle.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
I get it.
But
I get it.
and from an EMS standpoint, there's a lot of people that don't call because they're too proud to call, and unfortunately, they end up suffering consequences, or they suffer gravely because they don't call 911 because they're too embarrassed. You know, because it's a big deal. Like here is a car or an ambulance. It comes in loud. It comes in bright.
Yeah.
Everyone's attention is on you, and here you are. Everyone wants to know, and people are afraid that their neighbors are going to find out that they're not perfect for whatever reason. And nobody's perfect. And sometimes you need assistance. So that
Yeah.
really sucks, dude. That really sucks that you went through that.
Thanks, man. Thanks, bro. I'm glad I got to share it and get it off my chest. I won't lie to
I'm
you.
glad you did too,
Now I'm
man.
done.
But
I just want to forget it.
I got you. I understand.
Yeah.
Um,
Now I'm always
man.
gonna feel like I need to stay protected. I know that sounds
Well,
weird.
that's the thing now. No, because now your sense of safety and stability was violated. That's how you know that you are a victim of something when
Yeah.
your world doesn't feel safe anymore.
Am I gonna go? And it was, by the way, it was during the daytime. Sun is out.
Yeah.
So am I gonna go out in the evening times and stuff? You know, I might carry my air horn now on with me.
Well,
you know,
there and that brings up a good point. You know, I would say that, for as crappy as it is, just having a mobility device at all or a wheelchair or anything doesn't really um I don't want to say take you out of the game, but it doesn't eliminate the possibility of you becoming a victim.
it
And
displays weakness, right?
well, no, I don't want to say it like that because we all know that it's not weakness. And like I said, we don't think of ourselves as weak. We think of ourselves as very strong because look at all the things that you have to do just to get to Tim Hortons. It's a lot more than the average person does. So you're a little stronger in that respect. And like we talk about all the time, people of determination. So you're a lot more determined
Yeah.
to get to Tim Hortons than the average person would be. But in the same respect, any one of us is just as likely to become a victim of anything as anybody else. We're not immune to it.
Yeah.
So you're right. What do you do? Carry an air horn? Do you carry pepper spray? Do you carry a taser? Are you armed? Like what degree do you take it to? And then that is also another very personal thing. Um, I don't know what the gun laws are where you are, but down here,
Yeah.
having a disability doesn't stop you from owning and carrying a firearm legally, going through all the hoops and paperwork and stuff, just like
Yeah.
anybody else. Um,
No, not possible here.
no. Okay.
Unless you're going hunting, but then there are a lot of rules about that.
Are there? Okay. See, that's a cultural difference. I
Hmm. Hmm.
I have a neighbor who lives close by, and open carry is legal in Pennsylvania. You do not need any kind of permit
That's
or anything.
crazy.
You can
Such a
just,
culture shock for me, man.
yeah, you can take a, let's say,
So can you walk down the street and just show your pistol?
well,
Can you be
that's
like,
considered,
that's my parking and just show your pistol?
no, no, that would be considered what's called brandishing the
So,
firearm.
so you got
And
to
if you
watch
brand
your,
if you brandish the firearm,
yeah,
that actually is an offense, because the person you're brandishing to, like in that exact scenario,
yeah,
I could call 911 and say he threatened me with a gun simply by saying, "Hey, I have a gun."
yeah,
But
shit,
it is legal to take a handgun
yeah,
that you legally own
yeah,
and put it in a holster on your hip and leave it uncovered. Don't
yeah,
even put your shirt over it,
yeah,
because believe it or not, putting your shirt over it
yeah.
is
Hides
considered
it.
concealing it, and you need a permit to conceal it. So I
Oh,
have a neighbor who has
yeah,
a pistol on his hip, has had it for years, and he it's very visible. He just, and it's totally legal and it's nothing
yeah.
wrong. And
That's crazy.
we're
Yeah,
talking 10 years I've known him to be walking around with a gun. There is no requirement for licensure to carry
yeah,
in your own property on Pennsylvania or your own place of business. So you can walk around your own property with a gun on your hip, fully exposed.
yeah.
You can even walk around with a shotgun. There's rules about I could sling a shotgun and walk down my street. I could walk into my Wawa
What's
as
a
long as
Wawa?
I could walk into my Tim Hortons.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And,
Okay.
um, so yeah, there's a lot of
And
very
just be like,
interesting.
I want a coffee while you're holding your shotgun.
Well, it's on your back. Like if I have
Oh,
it slung over my shoulder,
okay, yeah, yeah.
and it has to have like only 3 rounds of ammo and like blah blah blah. There's a lot of rules. But
That's
and
crazy.
for anybody who knows more than I do, that's put it in the chat or the comments or whatever. But so no, and so how do you what level of comfort do you have to protect yourself? Um,
This is what I have. I got you on camera.
yes, and that's totally fine. But you know, um, I'll just say that you're in Canada and bear repellent goes 21 feet. That's all I'm going to say about that.
I think, yeah, there. I think it's also dog spray or something for dogs. I don't
I
know.
don't. I think so. It's so there are less. There
Yeah.
are things that you can legally carry, but it is a comfort thing. There are statistics out there that say statistically you are more likely to get hurt with whatever you brought to
Mm-hmm.
the incident.
Mm-hmm.
So just got to remember that if you buy something like, let's say, pepper spray, you say, "Oh, I buy pepper spray." If you carry the pepper spray, one, you got to know how to use it. Two, it has to be accessible in very quickly. And three, you got to understand what it does to the person you're using it on.
Yeah.
And not that I don't know if there's civilian training for that kind of stuff. I have no idea. But
It's called, hey, bro, can you spray me and I'll spray you after?
that's um that's where I put in the disclaimer that you should consult with your physician. Um and you should not try that unless you have thoroughly thought through the mistake you're about to make. Although not deadly per se, the
You've been
risk is
sprayed,
never
right? Because of your
zero.
work.
I've been sprayed
I know you sprayed
half a
thousands,
dozen,
but
yeah, 100. I'd probably say. Well, you also got to remember that my department was also in charge of, or responsible for training other departments in the county. So, like,
okay.
probation officers that were not necessarily in my department. We had to train them on the use of
Probation officers, eh?
yeah,
Okay.
on the use of OC spray. So yes, I've personally sprayed upwards of 200 people maybe, and I've been sprayed half a dozen times. It's not fun. It's not the worst, but
It's it's
I think
it's
it's more tolerable than a taser. I'm good with never going through that again.
again,
Um,
that's funny. That's
yeah, and I didn't even get the full ride, as they say. I didn't get like they didn't pull the trigger and hit me with the darts.
yeah,
They took the cartridge off and just pulled the trigger and pressed it against my arm.
yeah.
I mean, and
Okay.
then my thigh. So it was like, brr, and I was like, ah, that's enough.
Oh, you didn't fall down and do the whole
No,
thing.
I
Oh,
didn't
okay,
do the whole
okay.
thing. No, I
Yeah,
no, Um,
yeah.
yeah,
You know those videos you watch where they
uh-huh.
get tased and they go down? Do they ever? They never pee themselves. You think their nerves would be like numb?
Well, the stats on that is on average one in like 500 to one in 550 people
Okay,
lose control of their bowels. Um,
that's messed up. Yo, by the way, the
yeah,
kid that the bully,
right.
remember he jumped into me, pushed me, and said
Yeah,
he hit me. He hit me.
right,
So
right.
in my head, I was thinking, if I called the police, this is what was going through my mind. What if he ran up to the police and said that guy hit me? I know what. And there's
Yeah, but
two of them.
still,
I'm just saying. I just all that ran through my head.
right, right. But no, and again, all very reasonable. Um, yeah, like what
Yeah.
do? You push a 10-year-old? Like no, you don't want to be that guy. But yeah,
Oh,
I'll stick by the fact that you were the victim of whatever their home life looks like, dude. I don't think that had anything. He just saw an easy target and went for it because he doesn't know any better. He only knows what he's been
messed
shown.
up.
And he's not old enough to understand how the world works and how you're supposed to conduct yourself. You only know what you're shown in your environment. And unfortunately, if he is within the range of 10 to 12, if he's somewhere in
Yeah.
that range, if you rewind the clock 5 years, his whole world was a screen.
Yeah.
There was no social interaction. So, there's a whole, and that's a bigger issue. There's a whole generation of kids out there that experienced their first social interaction on a computer screen. And that is not good for humans.
You're right, because that was five
That's
years
not
ago. You would have been
that
5 or 6.
he would have been 5 or 6. So he would have been kindergarten age ish, somewhere in that range. And the first social group that he should have been in was that school setting. But that school setting was in his parents' den, living room, basement, kitchen, wherever,
Yeah.
being mad at Zoom on this very platform
Or backyard or
or
friends
wherever.
around,
Yeah,
not
right.
supervised. I get it.
Right. So
Yeah.
I'm not blaming any one particular thing. I'm just saying the culmination of all of it leans towards that. When your parents are scared about losing their job and the house, and they go to the store and there's no milk, and they all this, that, and the other, it's very stressful. And you're around nobody and you have no outlet for your stress. So what do? You take it out on the people who are around you. So if a kid grows up in that environment, that's how they know the world is. you know I don't know, deep psychological stuff, but
I can't understand it, man, because I would never have done that as a kid.
sure.
Like I had my moments, but I would never have done that. Not even close, man.
Yeah, just go up to a guy in a wheelchair. First of all,
Dude.
I don't know if I had ever seen anyone other than my grandfather in a wheelchair at age 10.
Bro,
And
maybe because I look cool. I have a beard.
that's
You know what
probably
I
what
mean?
it
My
is. You look like a
sunglasses is
tough
on.
guy. Maybe they thought you were faking it.
Like, hey,
You're
Uncle
just
Tom,
cruising down the street.
it could have been that, man. It doesn't matter.
Look at this guy. He takes his motorcycle down the street.
Yeah. Yeah. Bro, it's the whole factor is that he started pushing me.
Right. Right.
That's when I'm like, what?
Yeah, because he doesn't
And
understand
then I
how much.
swung behind me, but he was gone by then. I was like,
Yeah, he doesn't understand the potential danger to doing something like that. So
yeah,
yeah, holy moly, dude.
that's it, man.
Wow.
At least it's not a washroom story. On
Yeah.
that note, by the way, no, I'm just joking.
Whew.
Yeah, man. Sorry, I didn't. And
No,
I didn't want to tell the story because I'm like,
no, no, no. I'm
okay.
reacting. I listen. A lot of people, our listeners, don't know that we don't communicate a whole lot off of this show. I mean, we talk a little bit here and there, but the big stuff we save for here. So
Yeah,
reacting in real time. This is the first time I'm hearing
exactly,
it too. So
exactly. Why I didn't want to tell you.
mm, mm, mm. Wow. I mean, I need a minute. You got to put in some like hold music or something. Give us a break here.
It's you're validating me, man. I appreciate it because
Yeah.
I was
Well,
like, you know,
no, you're welcome. No, it's
I hope I don't get bullied again, man. That was a shitty
well,
feeling.
no, yeah, no. And I think, and I hope, first of all, I hope that you're never in a scenario like that ever again. But
Me
if you
too.
do find yourself in that scenario, I hope that you remember that there is no shame in asking for assistance. Um, Especially because the potential for injury, both physical and psychological, from an assault like that, or actually, well, any assault or anything like that, any invasion of your personal safety bubble or your emotional safety bubble, anything like that could potentially have long lasting impacts because of your life arc. 20 years ago or 30 years ago, you'd have just been like, whatever, kid, get out of here.
Yeah, yeah, and I would have done
But
that anyway.
now you got to think about like, if I
Exactly.
fall, what breaks, what bruises, what can I not use, what muscles will never recover? Like, there's a whole host of things. So, yeah,
Whatever, man.
I just hope, like I said, I hope you're never in that again. But I hope you ask for assistance. Don't ever feel, always err on the side of caution. Just call 911.
Bro, I
Like,
never would have expected this to happen.
sure, no one does. Who
That's
does?
that's why I sat there and I pondered. I'm like,
You just mind your business. You just go about your day.
yeah,
So, ah, man,
it's done. It's over. I'm good.
yeah,
It's funny because when I was telling the story to Katrina, I was like, please don't make a big deal about it. Let me just tell you the story and let's move on. Because I was
sure.
embarrassed, man.
Right, right. Yeah,
It's
and rightfully
embarrassing.
so.
Yeah.
Rightfully so.
I'm like, I don't want to make a big deal about it. I'm just telling you what happened. Let's move on. A
All
story
right.
for the podcast.
Woo.
Yeah.
And crazy enough, I wear this vest on the day that you're gonna tell that story. Not planned at all.
Why is that crazy?
Because I put on
Oh, okay. Okay. Because
the law
yeah, yeah,
enforcement
yeah,
patch. Yeah, I
yeah.
put
Yeah,
it in
of
one of my
course, of
old
course,
patches.
of course. Yeah, of
Um,
course.
but yeah, I think that's a good point. I think it's even me. I don't think of myself as a vulnerable person or someone who's in a vulnerable position, but I'm in that position every time, every day. When I'm walking around.
Yeah.
But we don't like to think like that because we don't want to go through life scared. And then we also don't want to go through. We're done being scared. We've been scared. We had our diagnosis, right? Our life fell off a cliff. We're terrified of the future, and we're
Yeah.
tired of that. So we don't do that anymore. So we don't dwell on the things that terrify us. We just go about our day.
Do you remember I was telling you my story about the scooter and how the first time I ever went to the coffee shop, the lady
Yeah,
looked past me so
yeah,
here I am getting comfortable again, going in this scooter thinking it's cool. and then I'm like having my, independence,
Sure.
and then this happens.
Right.
So I'm not going to say I have PTSD, but every time now I'm going to like look around,
Just gonna be
prepare
aware.
myself. Yeah, that's it. So,
Yeah, that's an unfortunate thing, brother.
and it's funny is when I was in the coffee shop, that guy was like, you're going to Timmy's too. I was going to ask him, hey, bro, after you get your coffee, you want to walk back with me? I was really close to doing that because I was
Yeah.
like, do I ask someone to walk back with me? What if they're still there? Dude, those kids had no fear. They
Yeah,
were
well, they'll probably be there. They
they
probably live right there.
threw a water bottle at me, man. It was
That's what I'm
empty, but
saying.
and I was like, dude, I'm just in shock. Okay, let's
Yeah.
move past this. Too
All right.
much.
All right. Yeah, no worries, dude. No
Thank
worries.
you.
I don't
Thank
want
you.
to.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
I said, let's move past this. Just joking.
Yes. So, we were talking about doctor stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was put on another medication. I
Yeah.
forget the name. I don't know the name of it, but it's supposed to help with my fatigue. Um, I don't know how I feel about it because, yeah, I mean, yes, I could use some help with my fatigue because, um, my fatigue, as I've said many times, my fatigue presents itself as anger. So I get my fuse gets really short when I'm super fatigued. Um, that's an unfortunate for Kit and all those around me.
Yeah.
Um, it's not fair. I don't like being in that state. So hopefully this medication works. Next week when I pick up my script,
Yeah. Give me the
I'll
name.
let you know what it is. I hope it works. But then on the other hand, I'm like, okay, now I have another medication. So that's four medicines now. And I know four is not a lot comparatively, but four is a lot for me. It's the most I've ever taken on a daily
Yeah.
basis, plus my Ocrevus, which is coming up. I finally found an infusion center. Um,
Oh, that's
because
right.
I had to scramble because the hospital closed.
Yeah.
So I finally found a private place, and insurance was kind of like, it's so weird that nobody talks to each other in healthcare because my insurance company called me and was like, we'd like to, I wonder why you changed, we just want to know why you changed infusion centers. And I paused and I said, and I asked the woman, I said, well, where are you calling me from? And where's your company located? And here they're out in the Midwest. And I was like, okay, all right. I said, yeah, so then you don't know that, the national news of the Crozier Keystone Health Network closing down. I guess you did guys miss that.
Yeah.
I said, so my hospital closed. Not only did my hospital close, the hospital system closed down.
And she was like, oh, yeah,
Yeah,
I
she went,
remember.
yeah, she was like, oh, that makes sense. I'm like, I didn't just change it because I wanted to.
How
So, and then
convenient is that location?
it's fine. It's just about as far as the other one. It's no big deal. It's just in the middle of an office complex instead of at a hospital. It's fine.
Okay.
Um, but there's an issue that I've been involved with the MS Society. There's an issue in the government relations thing that I do. So I'm on this thing called the Government Relation Actions Committee of the GRAC.
Okay.
And what we do is talk to lawmakers about things that are important to the MS community on the state and federal level. And unfortunately, like I said earlier, we took a big hit this year because of the funding. But the fight doesn't stop. So the fight this go around is for what's called non-medical switching.
Okay.
And that's the ability of your insurance company to switch medications in the middle of a year just because they want to.
Okay.
So, like, for example, last year, my insurance did not change at all. No one, and last year, I had dalfampridine, which helps with walking,
Okay.
and it was fully covered. And then around February of this year, I got a letter stating that dalfampridine was no longer in their formulary and was not covered by them.
Okay.
So at that point, you got two choices. You can either stop taking the medication or, well, I'm sorry, there's three choices. You can file an appeal, you can pay for it out of pocket, or you can just stop taking the medication. I filed an appeal. Well, my doctor's office, which is great, filed an appeal on my behalf when they got when their office got the letter. So they filed the appeal and won, which was great.
Okay.
So they said, okay, we'll allow it under the formulary, but we're only covering it to a certain degree.
Okay.
So the out-of-pocket cost would have been a couple hundred a month for this one medication. So then insurance said, okay, well, if they allowed it under the formulary, we'll cover it. So lucky for me, I had two good insurance, well, two decent insurance,
Yeah.
and I was able to get that medication. But that highlights the fact that companies can just do whatever they want
Yeah.
at any time. So what we're trying to do what they call it August recess, and what August recess is that all the lawmakers at the state and federal level, they have the entire month of August off, and they go back to their districts and they're supposed to meet with their people, their
Yeah.
constituents.
Okay.
So I'm setting up meetings to go talk to my congressperson and my representative and tell them, hey, there's bills that are moving through the system, and we'd like you to support them so that people don't get blindsided or the rug pulled out from under them um, for this non-medical switching. So hopefully that's the fight this time out, and hopefully they
Yeah.
listen because it's very important, and it's another one of those things that doesn't just affect people with MS. It happens to everybody with every kind of illness.
Yeah.
They use these, now that it used to be people and boards of people, like people would sit around and decide these things. Now it's just AI algorithms to figure out how much money they can make. So
Yeah.
if they're not making enough money off of your particular pill, then maybe they'll switch it.
I'd love to hear these horror stories of people having to switch medications and then
Yeah, well, not so much a horror story for me,
yeah, not
but
for you. Thank God.
definitely an ordeal that I had to deal with. I had to make sure that what's next? I mean, what if they say, okay, well, Ocrevus isn't in your
Yeah.
formulary,
Yeah.
and that's several tens of thousands of dollars. That's like $500,000 a shot. You know what I mean? A go round.
Yeah.
So, I mean, don't hold me to those numbers, but it's very expensive.
Yes, yes, we all know.
So what if they decide that they just don't want to cover that anymore?
Yeah.
You know,
You would stop it. What are you gonna do?
Seriously. And, you know,
That's crazy. Playing with your life.
well, yeah. I mean, you can file appeals, you can do whatever, but, it's not, when people say that you can go medically broke in the States, they're not kidding.
Oh no, we know.
Yeah.
We've heard all the stories too, man.
Yeah. It's kind of scary, actually.
That's another thing is that why people may be scared of calling an ambulance? Because they're like, I can't pay for that.
Sometimes, sometimes. Yep.
Just the hospital's down the
Yeah.
street. Just walk it.
Yep. No, that is a very real thing. There are people who don't call because of that. There's a lot of people that don't go to the hospital because they say, well, I can't afford to go. And you know what? Even though the hospitals have a legal and moral obligation to treat everybody that walks through the door, regardless of their ability to pay,
Yeah.
it still weighs on people's minds because they know that that bill's coming. And they know that that bill may be tens of thousands of dollars, especially
Here,
when,
sorry.
no, go ahead.
Here, oh, my finger hurts. Go to the emergency room. You just wait 4 or 5 hours,
Right.
but
Oh,
you
we
don't.
wait 4 or 5 hours down here. No, they know Disney Fast Pass in the ER.
I don't know. Over here, I thought the wait is so long because it's free and everybody's coming in the weekends, especially.
Right,
Everybody's flooding the ER.
right. Um, no, that's everywhere. And with
Okay.
less hospitals now, it's a longer wait
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Yeah.
This was a very uplifting episode, Terry. No, I'm
Come on,
kidding.
man. Sorry, bro.
Uh,
Thanks, man. Appreciate
no,
it.
you're very welcome. Holy smokes, dude. Whew. Well, I hope the week ahead is a lot smoother than the week behind.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
welcome.
And for you too.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Um, I'm just in that a lot of things are converging at the same time. Like the heat, obviously, the fatigue, the fact that I'm still and because I had to change infusion centers, I had to get into their rotation. I had to get because when you go to the same place all the time, you can always set
Yeah.
your next appointment, like you
Yeah.
just get
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
this like 6 month routine or whatever. So I had to get into their routine. So I had to get an appointment that fit in because I'm the new guy. And my infusion was pushed back to August 1st,
Yeah.
which puts me about a week and a half past the 6 month mark. So not only do I have crap gap, I now have like overtime crap gap.
August 1st, that's the date.
Yeah, it's going into my crap gap's going into extra innings or OT.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me know. I'm curious,
I will. I
like, is it
will.
going to be extra now because you have extra weeks? We'll see what happens.
Honestly, to be totally honest, I'm actually trying to not to freak out and be really aware of what I do for these extra weeks
Is
because I do not, this is very vulnerable to have a flare up like this time right now. So
and
I'm
this is the
really,
time, like around now,
yeah,
right? You're okay. Okay.
yep.
All right.
Summer. So we're at peak summer and I'm going to be hanging on a little longer. So I'm just trying to take it as easy as possible, stay cool, wear my cooling vests, try not to stress, take my medications as prescribed and my herbal medication as needed, and just go from there.
I'm always around, bro.
I know.
Try not to
Thanks.
stress, man.
I'm gonna try. Thanks everybody for hanging in there with us again.
Thank you.
I hope your summer's going well, and hopefully see you next week. Terry, we'll talk soon, brother.
See you later, bro. So check us out at 40belowzero.com. That's 4 letter T below zero.com. Or feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. Our email address is info@40belowzero.com. Our personal Instagram account are, for Nix, it's Nix_V713. Or for Terry, it's What's_MS. Awesome. Looking forward to hearing from you guys. We'll talk soon.